On the Friday night sports show, and we take a look at Riverina and Farrer football in New South Wales. And some interesting competition in Riverina. Coleambally beat the Griffith Swans last Saturday at the Ex-Services Club 11-11, 77-8, 7-55. It was a good game of football. It was led all the way by Coleambally, but they did what they had to do to get over the line in the end. And this is a 22-point margin, which was a fair margin in the end, given that they controlled the game over the four quarters. It was well played to Harper with 4. Delves booted 5 for Griffith, and it was a particularly good performance. Coleambally continuing to push towards finals. Wagga Tigers took on Whitton Crows, a replay of last year's grand final. These two sides are not in the same form they were back then, but Wagga Tigers 7-11, 53 to Leeton Whitton 7-8, 50. Great performance by the Tigers to hang on and beat the lowly Whitton Crows. It was Rainbird with 2, Booth with a couple, Ryan a couple for the Tigers. GGGM showed just how powerful they are at the top of this table, and that they with the Goannas, they way too good for Narrandera, 28-11 to 4 goals to Corbett 5, K Watts, Jay Olsen, Jay McCraig 4, Anderson 3, Proctor Hamblin booted 2, and Lander, Olsen, Watts and McCraig all played well for the Lions, while Narrandera Irons with 2, McKay and Williams and Veering tried hard for them. Finally, in what was one of the upsets, I think, of the season, it was the Turvey Park 9-6-60 over Coolamon Rovers 7-12-54. And good straight kicking by the Bulldogs that showed the way over the Grasshoppers here. And it was a 4-goal margin at three-quarter time. So Coolamon Rovers continued to press but just couldn't kick straight enough and lost the match in the end. Leary 2 for the Bulldogs, and Fellows their better player. Maslin and McGowan 2 each for Coolamon Rovers. Macaulay and Barrett the better players there for them. Having a look now at this week's matches, and it is really important because round 11 Collingullie get Coolamon. And again, this is for finals placings, and Collingullie in some good form right now at the crossroads. Could be right the crossroads game for their season. Coolamon for them too. They don't want to lose 2 in a row. I'm going to tip the Grasshoppers to win it just. Leeton Whitton take on Griffith Swans, and this is at Leeton at the showground. I'll tell you what, these are the two arch rivals to each other, and at the bottom 2 places on the table too. It could even be the wooden spoon game. I reckon that after last week, the Leeton Whitton Crows got some mojo back against the Wagga Tigers, might just get home. Turvey Park and GGGM Lions in what will be an absolute beauty after Turvey Park's win last week, but I think the Lions can still win at Marrar. And MCUE Goannas take on the Wagga Tigers at Mangalapar. I'll go with Mangalapar because I reckon they're in just such good form, and even though had the bye last weekend, they'll be too good to hear for the Wagga Tigers. In the matches in Farrer last weekend, the Northern Jets 13-10 beat Barellan 8 goals 9. In other games, the Rock Yerong Creek beat Coleambally Blues 16-13 109 to 13-12 90. Hodge with 4 for Coleambally, and Hillier was good for them, along with Orton and Steele, whereas Russell and Bierman both on the score sheet with 4 and 3 apiece, and Bierman, Cook and Hancock for the Rock Yerong Creek. The battle of the 2 Wagga clubs, it was East beating North 14-8 to 7-7 for the Hawks. They had Roberts with 4, and for the Saints, Jordan with 3. Marrar Bombers got up and had a big win over Charles Sturt, 18-9 to 4-4. I reckon the Bombers could be one of the favourites right now, maybe even the favourite for Farrer. Lawton 6 and Lawler with 6, and Collinbridge with 3 for Charles Sturt in that game. Over to this week's matches, and it's going to be a very important round number 12, where we're going to see out in the Farrer Football League come North Wagga to take on Coleambally. I think they'll win that, the Saints at home. Charles Sturt play Barellan, a chance for Barellan to get a win on the road, but I think at Peter Hasty Oval, CSU. The Rock Yerong Creek play Marrar Bombers, the match I think of the round. I think the Bombers can still visit the Rock and get a win here. And Temora Kangaroos play East Wagga Kooringal. I think the Hawks will get easily over the Kangaroos in this match of Farrer. And that is what's happening across the Riverina and Farrer of New South Wales here on the Friday Night Sports Show.